I'm creating this audio because I want to discuss a little small piece of Alex Jones's documentary called 9/11: The Road to Tyranny. There are a couple of things that he talks about that I found that he just blatantly lied about. It's just total lies, total fabrication. William Cooper exposed Alex Jones in the year 2000 after Alex Jones did his radio program on the eve of New Year's, 99 in the 2000, where he talked about there's going to be total chaos. All the computers and machines are shutting down and are going to be shutting down. He lied about Soviets already launched nukes to attack us and all kinds of things. And William Cooper exposed Alex Jones for being a liar. You can still listen to that on Google Video, YouTube. If you search that out, William Cooper exposes Alex Jones. And so that was the year 2000 when William Cooper exposed it. And here I'm watching 9/11: The Road to Tyranny, and Alex Jones says, here's the documents, here's what I've read, here's what it says. Go out, find it yourself, and see what it says for yourself, so you know that I'm not just making this up. I've tried doing that with quite a few documents. A lot of them are very difficult to come by to find. I just cannot find them. Around 1 hour 25 minutes. It's really about 1 hour 25 minutes and about 40 seconds where he begins to say the federal government, the state government are saying that Christians are terrorists and they're hate groups and so on. I just found that in my research of the same documents that he's reading from, it's just not true. It does not say that. The government is not saying exactly what he is saying, and there seems to be a little bit of truth to what he's saying, but he's blown it out of proportion and made this big fabrication. So after William Cooper exposed Alex Jones for being a liar, you would think that he would stop lying, stop making fabrications. But 9/11: The Road to Tyranny, I'm guessing, was produced in the year 2002. I'm not sure. I couldn't find that information when it was produced. So here we have 2 years later, and he is still lying. So let's just listen to exactly what he said. And I'm not able to show you the actual video because I don't have the technology to record the video and put it into this video. So we will listen to what he says, and I will show you exactly what he is reading from to show you that he is lying about what he says. And it's very clear in the video exactly what the document says, and he says that it says something else that it does not. And everybody that watches it, I am sure that they do not research for themselves, and it clearly says it on that document on the screen that it does not say what he says, but people just take his word for what it is. So let's hear what he has to say in his video, and then I will show you that he has lied in this video. And I did email one of the Watson guys, Steve Watson, or one of them, and let them know about this discrepancy. I've never heard anything about it, so I'm not sure if he's changed anything, if they've acknowledged it or not. So let's hear what he has to say in his video, 9/11: Road to Tyranny. And if you want to check it out for yourself, you can do that on Google Video. You just type in 9/11: The Road to Tyranny, and you will find his video. You go to 125, right about 40 seconds. So 1 hour, 25 minutes, and 40 seconds. You play it, and you will hear exactly what I'm about to play.
And then here's the Register Herald, big newspaper in West Virginia. Christians a hate group. They found out the FBI and law enforcement schools across the state, and it's going on around the country, are teaching them that Christians, period, are hate criminals, are part of a terrorist group if they believe in a second coming of Christ. And all this comes right out of the Project Megiddo report, where they list homeschoolers, gun owners, anybody that cares about freedom, anyone that believes in Jesus Christ, anyone that believes in a second coming. Again, where did the First Amendment go? Anyone that discusses a New World Order conspiracy theory. Well, you've heard world leaders say a New World Order throughout this documentary. Anyone that talks about a New World Order takeover. The evidence is clear. If you resist the New World Order takeover, you're being demonized as a hate criminal. Look, it lists homeschoolers as terrorists. Remember, if you say New World Order, you're a terrorist.
Okay, we just heard from Alex Jones in his video 9/11 The Road to Tyranny. Now he's made quite a few statements there. He's made statements that all this information is coming out of the Megiddo report, Project Megiddo report that was produced by the FBI. He mentioned the Register Herald article that's from September 2nd, 2001, that Christians, a hate group. It goes in to discuss hate crimes against people, and this is specifically homosexuality and crimes against homosexuals. And it does talk about Christians, that they can go after Christian pastors, Christian churches, Christian people for engaging in homophobia and crimes against homosexuals. And they wanted to get this homosexual fear to be listed as a hate crime so they could go after these people. Now, this article does say some groups include apocalyptic Christianity in their ideology and believe we're in or approaching a period of violence and social turmoil which will precede the second coming of Christ. Now, it said some groups include that, but the whole case that they're building is hate crimes against homosexuals. So it's not particularly pulling out Christians, but it does seem to be mainly focusing on Christians and bashing them for the hate crimes against homosexuals. Again, you can go out to Google, you can type in Christian hate group, and then type in that Register Herald, which is the newspaper group. So you can type that in, you can find it. Now, everything else he discusses in this short clip comes out of the Project Megiddo report, as he had said. And so he says certain things: homeschoolers, gun owners, anyone that cares about freedom are all listed as terrorist groups. Anyone that believes in Jesus Christ. Anyone that believes in the second coming. Now, I've read this and I have not found anywhere it lists anybody that is a Christian as a terrorist or in a terrorist group. Anybody that believes in Jesus is a terrorist. I have not found one place where it says homeschoolers is a terrorist group, gun owners are a terrorist group, anyone that cares about freedom is a terrorist group. I just have not found it. Now, when we look at Alex Jones's the little cut of the document that he has in the video, if you notice, he zooms in real close and does like a scan from left to right. Now, the problem with that is you can't really see what's being said, and that's a problem, because the little cut that I took and put in this, he says, see, look, homeschoolers are listed. So number 5, homeschoolers are listed as terrorist groups. Number 2, number 3, so number 6. So if you read through this, I mean, just from this page, it says nothing about terrorists. It says nothing about homeschoolers being terrorists. Nothing about anybody. You don't see terrorists listed here anywhere. And that's what I was saying. You can see from this little clipping of the document from the Project Megiddo report that it says nothing about terrorism here or terrorists. And so I put the actual complete paragraph so that way you can see exactly what it says. Now, if it's hard to read because the print is small, then what you can do is you can get a copy of this yourself. It's available. You can get it, read it, so you know exactly what it says. And you can get this by going to permanent, permanent.access.gpo.gov/Megiddo, Megiddo.pdf. And I'll also list that here on the site, so you can just click on it, you can go to it, and you can get this and read it yourself to see what it says. Now, I've read this whole document, and I do not see where he came up with this. My conclusion is Alex Jones did not read this document and he put it in his video, and I don't know if someone read it for him and told him what it says or what, but it does not say anything what he says. It's impossible that he read this document. Now, maybe he did read it and he wanted to say something that it didn't say, and so he found those little clippings and decided to put that in his video. Alright, so if you open up the Project Megiddo, which is also, you'll see the paragraph that's on the screen. If you read along with me, here is what it says, and this is the clipping that he has in his video. It says, under this hypothetical NWO one world government, the following events are to take place. Number 1, private property rights and private gun ownership will be abolished. Number 2, all national, state, and local elections will become meaningless since they will be controlled by the UN. Number 3, the U.S. Constitution will be supplanted by the UN Charter. Number 4, only approved churches and other places of worship will be permitted to operate and will become appendages of the one world religion, which will be the only legitimate doctrine of religious beliefs and ethical values. Number 5, homeschooling will be outlawed and all school curriculum will need to be approved by the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. And number 6, American military bases and other federal facilities will be used as concentration camps by the UN to confine those patriots, including the militias who defy the NWO. Now, if we back up to number 5, it says homeschooling will be outlawed and all school curriculum will need to be approved by the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. Now remember, this paragraph starts out as, under this hypothetical NWO one world government, the following events are to take place. Now let's go back to Alex Jones' little clip and he had in his video. Now if you look here, if you remember, he said, look here, it even shows homeschoolers listed as terrorist groups. Now, as you can see, what the problem is that it does not say anything about terrorism, does not say anything about terrorist groups. It talks about what is going to happen under this hypothetical NWO, or this is what people believe what will happen. And it says nothing about homeschoolers being terrorists. It says nothing about gun owners being terrorists. It says private property rights and private gun ownership will be abolished. It doesn't say anything about gun owners. So Alex Jones made this up. It's a complete lie. The document does not say that. And if you compare it, the real paragraph from the Megiddo document to his, it's exactly the same. Exactly the same. And I did that. I wanted to make sure that it was not changed, at least those parts. And it wasn't. Now, in the third paragraph, and this is page number 11. That's the second paragraph. This third paragraph, it says the NWO conspiracy theory is particularly relevant to the millennium because the year 2000 is considered to be a triggering device for the NWO due to the element of computer breakdown. So in this report, Project Megiddo report, they talk about people believing in the second return of Christ. They specifically talk about people that believe it will happen in the year 2000 and that they are preparing for a war that they will initiate. These people are stockpiling weapons and are preparing to fight. Some of these groups believe the government is the arm of Satan and will provoke a war against them. This document says nothing about all Christians or all that believe in the second coming or terrorists. It seems though that there's a problem that any group stockpiling guns will be watched. Stockpiling weapons is not illegal, and the ATF was in violation when they swarmed the Waco, Texas compound And I learned about that by watching a documentary on the Waco, Texas, and they were doing a trial, if you call it a trial, but the Congress was questioning different FBI agents, and the FBI agents asked, or the FBI agent was asked by one of the congressmen, senators, whatever, is stockpiling weapons illegal? And the FBI agent said no. So the ATF was in violation when they swarmed the Waco, Texas compound. Now, why am I talking about the Waco, Texas compound? Because they were mentioned as one of these new millennium type groups that are that believe that the government is the arm of Satan, and they're preparing to fight against the government. So that's what this document says. Not that I'm agreeing with any of this, but it's just telling you what it says. So this document does not mention that the ATF was in violation, but plays out the Waco, Texas incident as those people were in violation. So it automatically just states that they were in violation when there were no violations. And they're also dishonest about the Oklahoma City bombing, said that Timothy McVeigh and Terry Nichols acted alone when they know it isn't true. FBI does know that, but in this document, they also played these two out as part of the same thing. The year 2000 type groups, militias. So, with all this really, being a lie, I'm just really curious how many other documentaries, how many other documents he just blatantly lied about this. So you can just read it, and it says nothing about Christians, all Christians, people believing in Jesus, people believing in the second coming. I did not find this in the document. All I found is they are telling people about these type of groups that believe the government is the arm of Satan, and that they are going to they are working for God basically, and stopping the arm of Satan and destroying it. And this book of Revelation play out in the year 2000, that they're going to go to war with the government, Jesus is going to come, and so on. And so this is their perception of these groups, this is their perception of what's going to happen. But Alex Jones totally missed it, hyped it up, scaring people. He's a fear-mongerer, and that's one of the first things I realized about Alex Jones. If something isn't right, when someone's supposed to be a patriot, someone's supposed to be on your side, someone's supposed to be teaching you about what's going on, and after you listen to his documentaries, you're afraid for your life. You're walking down the streets watching your back. You're looking behind every bush, make sure nobody's standing back there. And it's not right. It is not right to leave people like that. And so many people I talk to, they say they can't listen to too many of his videos because of that same factor, that so many people are just scared out of their mind, and that should alert you that something is not right. The local media, the national media, all use that tactic. Jesuits, the Freemasons, all these people use these tactics. They want to fearmonger you. And that tells me something about Alex Jones, that he's fear-mongering people, that something is not right, something is wrong. So it's time to wake up about these people that are not on our sides and they pretend to be.